Hi, I'm Kimchi. I love traveling and sharing my solo adventures with people who've always wanted to try it because it gives me the peace of mind and helps me recharge. Solo traveling always reminds me that you don't have to wait for the perfect timing or the perfect company to do what makes you feel alive. Sometimes the best moments are the quiet, unexpected ones you experience on your own. Today I am back with part 2 of my 8-day solo trip to Osaka, Japan, and in this episode I'm taking you to the lesser known spots, the kind that don't go viral on social media but show you the real soul of the city. If you missed part 1, check it out for a mix of iconic and local gems. Now let's dive in.
I had to peep that. When I turn my energy down, you trying to creep back. Send a text late night to me, I just delete that. Plus I got a new little thing, we push the seats back. I was waiting for ya, but it's okay.
I started my morning early because I had to check out of my current hotel in Kitahama. I really like this area. It is quiet, but only 2 or 3 train stops away from Shinsaibashi, so it is super convenient without being in the middle of all the chaos. One of my favorite things about solo travel is that I get to set my own pace, no rushing, no compromises, just moving through the day in a way that feels good to you. I was starving in the morning, but here's the thing. I feel like people in Japan don't really do breakfast. I ended up grabbing a quick coffee nearby and waited until 11 a.m. to get lunch. I stopped by a local izakaya and they only had one lunch set, a bowl of shirasu donburi, which is baby white baked fish over warm rice, topped with some grated daikon and soy sauce. It came with a small soba noodle soup on the side. Well, nothing fancy, just a simple comfort food to fill you up. And honestly, sometimes that's all you need. After lunch, I headed to Utsubo Park, a really underrated local park with a rose garden, tennis court, and a peaceful vibe. I love parks like these, where you can just sit, breathe, and people watch. Like it really grounds you. It is in these little moments, sitting on a park bench, sipping a convenience store smoothie, that I feel most connected to the place I am in. You start to notice things you wouldn't if you were in a rush, the way the wind moves through the trees, the little old man feeding the birds, and the warm sun on your face. The viral 7-Eleven fruit smoothie that you blend yourself. It is only $2 and tastes like something you would pay $7 for in the US. So yeah, that made me very happy. For dinner, I checked out a nearby tonkotsu restaurant with amazing reviews, like over 4.5 stars. I was the only customer though, which already made me a bit skeptical, but I gave it a try. They offered different types of premium pork and I picked the cheapest one because I couldn't tell the difference anyway. It came out looking so good, crispy, golden, with beautifully shredded cabbage and dipping sauces. The taste like, well, the sauces were actually the highlight. I ended up feeling hungrier than I expected, but decided to just call it a night and get ready for tomorrow's food adventures. For day 2, I kicked off my morning at a popular ramen spot called Tori Soba Zagin in Higobashi. I got there right at 11 a.m. and there was already a line. Pro tip when traveling in Japan is to bring cash. A lot of restaurants use those cute little ticket machines called shoken. You pick your dish, pay with cash, and get a ticket to hand to the staff. I got the signature chicken-based ramen, which had this thick, rich broth that was super comforting. It is made from stewed chicken bones and fat, so it is very deep in flavor without being too heavy. And I also tried the beef sushi. Like, well, the rice was soft and perfectly seasoned. The beef literally melted in my mouth, worth every yen. I love how food in Japan turns a simple meal into a whole experience. Every detail is intentional. The flavor, the presentation, and even the pace you eat at, it really makes you slow down. After that, of course, shopping. I headed to Shinsaibashi, which is Osaka's shopping heaven, especially if you're into secondhand or vintage clothes. Now for a fun twist, I went to get a perm for the second time this week. Well, long story, but check out part 1 for all that chaos. And this time I went to Air Osaka and got styled by the director, Endo. Everyone at the salon looked like they walked out of a fashion magazine. Spending a few hours in a Japanese salon as a foreigner with barely any Japanese is, well, oddly peaceful. You kind of surrender control and just trust the process. And honestly, there's something freeing about that. Shout out to Miu, the assistant, who took such good care of me despite the language barrier. And the result, well, it looked nothing like what I imagined. Endo did warn me that my virgin straight hair wouldn't hold curls easily, and all my friends later told me, well, your straight hair actually suits you better. Well, so lesson learned, but still, it's a fun experience. And that night, I went to a random izakaya near my hotel, and well, only one customer and the chefs weren't Japanese. Well, I should have known, but it was late at night and freezing, so I didn't have many options. Regret, but hey, not every solo trip meal can be a win, right? So on day 3, determined to redeem myself from last night's flop, I found this tiny seafood izakaya in Umeda. It took me like 30 minutes to track it down, but when I walked in, I knew it was the right call. It served thick-cut sashimi, grilled scallops, and massive sushi pieces. Everything tasted fresh and flavorful. I was the only solo diner and definitely the only foreigner, but the staff were so welcoming. It is in places like this that you realize solo traveling doesn't mean being lonely. Sometimes it actually opens you up to more kindness from strangers. People go out of their way to help or connect, even if it's just through a smile or gesture. And after that, I headed to Osaka Castle. It is gorgeous from the outside and even more peaceful if you take your time exploring the park around it. The whole area is massive, so don't make a mistake that I did and go without time to spare. I spent over an hour just wandering the outer gardens and moat even before seeing the actual castle. Dinner that night was at Kamitora Higobashi, a ramen place I had been eyeing all week. No frills, just solid ramen. The broth was thick, the pork was flavorful, and their gyoza so crispy and perfect with that vinegar dipping sauce. I left with a full belly and a happy heart. For my last meal in Osaka, I treated myself to Miyazaki wagyu beef, aka the Olympic gold medalist of beef in Japan. It is prized for its high marbling and melt in your mouth texture, and yes, it delivered. And after that, I just took the train to the airport. Super straightforward, but definitely leave yourself time to figure out the right platform and terminal. Also, I used a luggage delivery service through Klook because I shopped way too much and didn't want to carry 2 suitcases on my own. You just need to hand your suitcases over to the hotel front desk and they take care of the rest. You can use code Kimchi Klook on Klook for a discount and save your bag. So solo traveling has taught me that being on your own doesn't mean being alone. It is where you discover how strong, capable, and curious you really are. And it is a reminder that joy doesn't always need to be shared to be real. So what is your favorite Osaka spot? Or is there a place that I must visit next time? Hit that subscribe button and follow me for more solo travel adventures, food gems, and life lessons on the road. And see you in the next one.